Oh, there All right, good morning, friends, and welcome to the first Ignite session of 2023. If we have not met, my name is Brooke Silva. I am the regional technology trainer here at Keller Williams, New England, and Ignite is one of my favorite things for agents, no matter where you are in your career. Brandy new and shiny, or if you've been doing this forever, this is a new version of Ignite. It's meant to get you up and running and really get into production fast. And one of the wonderful things we do here at the region is we have people who are in your field who are working this every day here to support you and go through Ignite. But we have a few rules before I introduce everyone. So if this is your first time on Zoom, quick rundown. Mute is your BFF, especially if you have dogs or small children in the house. Steve's dog will get rambunctious at some point when it wants to go out, though. We just ignore him. The other thing is that there's a lot of you in mute. Have you ever all tried to sing happy birthday on a Zoom? It doesn't work because one voice like mine will make the green box pop up and nobody can hear everyone at once. So at the bottom or maybe at the top of your screen, depending on your view, you're going to see something at the bottom called reactions. Can everybody go down to the bottom where it says reactions or at the top? And I want you to give me a thumbs up or a heart or a laughing emoji or celebration or raise your hand so we can see. See, Erin's got it. Woo-woo! Everybody's got those. So this is how you communicate with us during Ignite, because when we are also sharing screen, we can't see you flagging us down like, Brooke, Erin, I have a question. We can't see you. So when you do that, I want you guys to go in and click reaction so you can see what happens again and do hands up. Put your hand up, not your real hand. See what happens? All our friends jump up to the top of the screen. So it lets us know that somebody needs help or there's a question or you need us to do something. Awesome. Now, when you're done, put your hand back down. And all you have to do is click that reaction again and lower hand. Sometimes the facilitators will do that for you. Another thing, you should have gotten information in your email, and I will drop it in if you don't have it for the workbook. But even if you don't have the workbook or the information, just listen and follow along, and we'll get you those links so you can get the information. And last but not least, this is recorded. So if you need more help with something, reach out to your leadership, but this will also be on the KW New England YouTube channel. It takes a little bit of time to get up there, so it may not be instant after the class. Ask us questions, get interactive. It is really mind-numbing to teach to a screen full of names and not see any faces. We love and live for interaction. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to be brave and throw that digital hand up, but it's only going to better you and your businesses by being interactive. It's how you know that the learning is working for you. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our three instructors, and I'm going to let them tell a little bit about themselves, and then we're going to get right into the content. So I'm going to start with who I see on my screen first, and that's Steve DeAngelis, Market Center Tech Trainer Extraordinaire. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Steve DeAngelis. I'm the Market Center Technical Trainer for KW Coastal, which serves Rhode Island and nearby Connecticut and Massachusetts. I've been a licensed realtor since 2010. And as I always happy to say, I started when the market was at rock bottom, and I've seen nothing but growth since then.
He's been here since it was chisel and stone. All right, friends, next on my screen is Erin Anderson.
Hey, everybody. So I am with Keller Williams Legacy Partners in Connecticut. I'm licensed in Connecticut and Massachusetts. And I have, I've had my license for 5 years now, became a full-time realtor March of 2020. So was an admin before that. I helped build a real estate team, was involved in sales training and all kinds of fun stuff that, goes along with supporting agents. And then I decided after my third kid, why not me, which is something that we're going to talk about today. around limiting beliefs. So yeah, I mean, right before COVID. So I'm sure there's a bunch of you on here who probably got licensed and got your career started during COVID, and we are shifting into a different market. So I think that this class is super important. And I chose this course today out of all of the ones that I had an option to teach, because I'm so passionate about creating a life by design, about, education, training, overcoming your fears, and having fun, right? So building a career that you love. So yeah, I'm excited to get going. So I'll let you introduce the last one, and then we can probably jump in.
All right, Melanie, introduce yourself and where you're from.
Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I am Melanie Fougere from Keller Williams Coastal. I work closely with Steve. I am the assistant team leader, and just very excited for everybody here at Ignite to kick off your careers. I will be monitoring the chat, so please feel free to reach out with any questions. I'm here for you.
Excellent. All right, guys. Again, cameras on. There will be breaks. I'm going to put a whole bunch of links in the chat in a minute, and then Steve will be copying and paste those. Remember, it is recorded. So if it feels like we're going too fast, we can always come back and replay it. We hope you enjoyed this session. Tune in for them. The instructors that are here to educate you through Ignite are top-notch and excited to be here. So with that, I'm going to take my leave and leave it with you guys, and have a great session.
Thank you. All right. So couple things that I just want to let everybody know. Number one is that I have a puppy and she's a little unpredictable right now. So she's hanging out, but if there's random barking, I apologize. I'll take care of it swiftly if there's an issue. And like Brooke was saying, keep your videos on for as long as possible. Feel free to ask questions, raise your hands. There are 84 people in this room, so 85 now. So that means we have 82 or 80. Let's see. Oh, Brooke's still here. So we've got 81 participants. So there's a couple things in this presentation where I'm supposed to ask everybody to answer something, which we just can't do. That would be crazy. So raising your hand is important. I'll try to get around to as many as I can. And I am also not the best with Zoom. So that's why we have Steve here though. So Steve, are you able to put up the slideshow?
Sure, I can do that. Hold on a second.
Okay. So you all should have your student guide or participant guide. So we are going to use that. And if anybody hasn't seen it yet, you should have gotten an email if you registered for the class. And like Brooke said, you can always, follow along without it if you need to. Make sure you have notebook, pen, something to take notes with. And like I said before, I love the idea of discussing sparking your career. The title was exciting for me. I have been in sales for over 20 years now in varying industries, and this is by far the most exciting industry that I think anybody could be a part of from a sales perspective. And really because you get to do your own thing. You are all entrepreneurs. I wore my favorite shirt today for you, Think Like a CEO. And every day you should wake up and think about how am I going to mold this life? How am I going to, create the career that I want to create? And you could change it every single day. What worked yesterday, or didn't work yesterday can be changed for today. So we have a lot of really fun content to cover today. As far as the agenda goes, this is a little bit longer session. I think the rest of them are about 2 hours. This one is like 2.5 to 3 hours. And we'll see how the day goes. Plus, we have a lot of participants, so it gives us some time to get everybody engaged if possible. I want you to raise your hand, answer questions, and yeah, I'm pumped to get going. So what I'd like to do, because again, we can't talk to everybody, but I was hoping that I could get maybe 3 people to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about you, how long you've been in real estate, why you got into it, and what did you do before getting into real estate? And then, why are you taking this class? So somebody that is brand new, let's start with you. Maybe like 0 to 3 months licensed, and that's why you're taking this class. Do we have any volunteers?
We'll pick somebody if we have to.
Yeah.
Jasmine.
Hello. I don't know if you can hear me. My camera is not working right now.
We can hear you.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I just got into real estate in November, so I'm very fresh in the real estate business. I have a lot of family members that's in real estate. My dad's in real estate. My cousins are in real estate. So I've always been interested in it. I basically followed in everybody's footsteps. And I'm just really excited to come in here and learn from you guys and learn the business.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So it sounds like you're in some good hands though, if you've got lots of friends and family that are in real estate. Just make sure they don't teach you all their bad habits. Okay. So I'm glad that you're taking these classes. All right. The next is somebody who has been in real estate, maybe more than a year.
Well, we have Agnes McKinney has her hand up.
Sure, Agnes, go ahead.
Sorry, I had my hand up for the previous. I just started in November as well.
Oh, good. All right. So why'd you get into real estate?
Well, I needed something different and interesting. I previously was in music for many years, and I spend a lot of time. I'm semi-retired, so I spend a lot of time at home writing and singing and being alone, other than when I am out and about. And I have a good network of friends and people who I've spoken with in the past who seemed really excited about real estate. And so I started thinking about it. A few people had asked me to consider it. And then as I was sharing that idea with various friends, they just thought I would be a real good candidate for something like that. And I found it interesting in that there's never it's never boring, because there's so much new that you're learning, you're growing, not just your own business, but everything to do with knowledge of how the market's changing and so forth. So it's a lot to stay on top of, but it makes you feel relevant, especially being in my 60s, so something different.
Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have anybody that's been in real estate over a year that's taking this class? If not, maybe 6 months. A little bit of experience. And all right, Shelly, go ahead.
Excuse me, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I just passed my 1-year anniversary, and I did my first Ignite, got my license October of 18th last year, started Ignite November 2nd, signed on with Keller Williams on the 3rd, and I did this all video last year with some of you. And such, I started out in Andover and then shortly after transferred to our Concord office. They did try to redo this as an in-house type of thing. And it just, when you reach a certain point where you actually have activity going on, that's not practical. But I really wanted to take some of these to come in and jump in when I can, because it's a new year, fresh start, and I'm at a very different place in my business. And I want to see what I might have missed. And I just want the feedback and the refresher.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. One more. Christina, why don't you go?
Hey guys, so I'm Christina Bates. I'm with Keller Williams Legacy Partners in Greater Hartford, like Aaron. And I got my license in 2019, but I started out in property management. So I did that for like a good year and a half or so. I was a leasing agent. I was their marketing and applications coordinator, office manager, kind of everything. And I started doing sales as well and really liked it and really liked the income potential. So in May of 22, so just a few months ago, I switched to Keller Williams and have really enjoyed the training and the mentorship. Erin has also, she was in my first Bold group. She was my captain and that was fantastic. So it's nice to see you here today, Erin. I am here. I did the Ignite what was it, September, but I wasn't able, because of the schedule, I wasn't able to fully attend each session. So I'm back again just to, I'm always learning. I'm always trying to pick up what I can. And I know I have plenty of growing to do. So that's why I'm back today.
Thank you so much for sharing. Awesome. All right. So the next slide is going to just kind of go over with you guys the Ignite calendar. There we go. All right. So today, like I said, you've got about a 3-hour class with me, and the success system, which is like your practice time, doesn't start until day 2. So I'm not 100% sure what the calendar looks like for all of you for this particular session. It was supposed to be edited, but then they told me not to edit it. So I just left it alone. So whatever your calendar says for classes, you're going to follow that. This is the only class that you're not going to have that follow-up, practice time, but all the other classes will have that, because today is really about mindset. It's about, getting your head around starting off on the right foot, about getting rid of limiting beliefs. It's about, just really embracing this journey that you're about to take. But I hope that you all fully participate, if possible, to take all of the classes, because it really is amazing. I mean, I took Ignite when I first started, even though I had already been exposed to the industry for 2 years, and I learned so much. And every time you take any class, really, you're a different person when you set foot in it, like Christina was saying, and you're going to take something different away every time. So the next slide is going to go through the course objectives. Right. So the step 1 is becoming the real estate expert, which is where we're going to spend our time today. You're going to move through lead generation. There's a bunch of classes, day 5 through 9, or sessions 5 through 9 about that. We have lead follow-up, which is sessions 10 through 13, and then transactions 14 to 20. So each of the classes has, their own agendas, and it's really meant to bring you through the entire process, start to finish, from, first getting your feet wet, understanding how do you even get a client, and what do you need to know, what knowledge do you have to have in order to get the ball rolling and have people trust you and help and allow them to help you through it. And then all the way down to, like, how do you close a deal, right? Because that's what we need to do to make money. So by the end of Ignite, you're going to basically be on the path to being the real estate expert of choice, by having a true value proposition for your business. So we'll work on that throughout the sessions, developing a lead generation system. And there's all kinds of books that you should be reading, written by Gary Keller. We've got The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, so the MREA. If you haven't purchased that yet, or you haven't read it yet, I would highly recommend it, because it's basically the roadmap to, becoming $1 million real estate agent. And it's very clear, like easy to follow instructions. I've already read it twice. Just constantly having it in the background among other books. It's good to pick up. And again, every time that you look at it or revisit it, you're going to be ready to take on a different stage in your career. And then creating a lead follow-up system. You're going to hear a lot about your data bank, right? Your database is your data bank. And the more robust you can make that database, the more likely it is that you're going to convert business. And that's something that I've put a lot of energy and effort and focus into. And in fact, I think I am teaching another class on how to really tap into your sphere, because just to give you an idea, this year, last year, 2022, I closed over 50 units without purchasing a single lead. It was all my database, repeat clients, sphere of influence, friends, family. And so I really leaned into that pretty heavily. So that is something you have full control over. adding people to your database. And then practicing and perfecting the steps of real estate transactions to get the deal to a successful closing. And there's a lot of things that happen along the way. I could write a whole book on all of the scenarios that have come up in transactions, but the more you learn about it and the more you hear stories, the more prepared you're going to be for when those situations arise, or at least to know who to turn to when something happens. So basically the goals are to end Ignite with one or more appointments, begin the process of working with a buyer or seller to buy or sell a home, and develop successful habits that will benefit you for your entire real estate career. So buckle up, because it's going to be a lot of information thrown at you. And the good thing is that this class runs regularly and you can always revisit the training videos. So, what I would suggest is take it in chunks, like absorb all of the things that you're going to hear over the next 20 sessions. But remember that you're not starting with a transaction, right? You're starting with the knowledge and the tools to become a real estate expert. And then you're going to have to do lead gen, and then, you're going to have follow-up and then transactions. So when you get your first contract underway, come back and revisit these recorded sessions that have to do with transactions. So today we're going to begin with the real estate expert of choice. If you want to go to the next slide.
I just want to cut in for one quick second here. I've been teaching Ignite for 7 years. And I still sit in on classes I don't teach because you learn so much more from the discussion. You learn so much more from asking questions. My rule of thumb for everybody is the only dumb question is the one you don't ask.
Yep. Because
we don't want you to leave here not having an answer to something, doing something wrong because you were afraid of asking the questions. Also, listen to the conversation. You'll learn you'll learn from hearing from your peers, and we are all your peers.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think that the tricky thing about Zoom is that I think people tend to actively participate less, because right now, even I've got the slideshow up on my computer and there's like 5 people on the screen, and 3 of them are moderators. So, please use the raise hand thing. It shows up top of my screen. So we'll make sure that we answer any questions, and it's the dialogue and the responses that really do make a difference. So yeah, no such thing as stupid questions in my book. So today we're going to do the real estate becoming the real estate expert of choice, and the 4 lessons will set you on your path to success, with direction, clarity, hopefully a lot of enthusiasm. And in the Spark Your Career section, we're going to get acquainted with Keller Williams and Ignite at a high level. So we're going to apply the Keller Williams culture and your market center's culture into the way that you engage and interact with others. And we have several market centers here, right? Because this is a regional, it's a regional Ignite series. We're going to talk about tapping into all of the resources that Keller Williams has to offer. And remember, Keller Williams is the #1 training company in the world. And that's a pretty cool thing to be a part of. It's why I was so excited to join Keller Williams before I was even really licensed or thought about becoming a real estate agent. I saw that play out for everybody that came through the door. And I was amazed. Most companies don't put the kind of energy and effort into training that this company does. And the culture is incredible. So, and then creating a vision for the future and setting goals, because it's really important to have goals. It's important to have a vision, and hopefully by the end of all of these classes, you'll have some real clarity around that. So in the next slide. Okay. So this is essentially today's agenda. Ignite instills in all of us a new way of thinking. It's all about having success mindset with no doubts, which is very difficult to do, right? I mean, you probably are, they're just swimming in your head right now. They are for me teaching this class, like there's always doubts that come into our mind. Am I going to mess this all up and do it wrong? Is the, technology going to get screwed up? Like all the things. But today we're going to talk about an unlimited mindset that's going to be fueled by the 6 personal perspectives, which we'll go over: Keller Williams culture, the value of working with Keller Williams and your market center, KW resources that will set you up for success, your career vision, and the success system that is going to superpower your business throughout the Ignite and beyond. And that success system is making sure that you're not just taking the class and running away. You're taking the class and applying it every single day so that you practice the skills that we're talking about. Next slide. So this quote should really pump you up. And it's something that goes through my head pretty much every day. So it's from Gary Keller and one of his published books. Gary Keller is the founder and CEO of Keller Williams and one of the most influential people in the world of real estate. This quote expresses something that is so true about real estate. Anyone can do it, but not everyone will. Will you? Real estate is a wonderful business and one where you can make a lot of money, run your own successful enterprise, and achieve your biggest dreams. There's a new slogan that kind of came out over the last year, and it's Keller Williams, where entrepreneurs thrive. And it's so very true. I mean, I have seen colleague after colleague really explode in their career and take it in every different direction, right? And no 2 people's businesses are the same. So again, anyone can do it. Not everyone will. Will you? Does anybody want to share their thoughts on this quote? Don't all raise your hand at once. Christina.
So, I mean, this is just true, right? I feel like I struggle with this, a roller coaster with this all the time. So, we should all have this, on our bathroom mirrors every morning or something. You just, for me, I'm working on reminding myself of my big why so that this really kind of kicks into gear. But yeah, anyone can do it. It's not hard. It's just, we have to do it. That's all. We just have to pick up the phone and make those calls and reach out to people and get it done.
All right. I think we have a bunch of people that said stuff in the chat. You have to put in the work is one.
Not sure how to raise my hand here.
Oh, there is a reactions button at the bottom of the screen for you. If you click that, there should be.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
Go ahead. Tell us what it means.
Well, I'm older. I've had several different careers, all very successful. Some were forced upon me because I was in the banking industry for a long time. And then with all the buying and selling and whatever, I eventually left that and reinvented myself. So, and this is like the 4th time, maybe I'm kind of reinventing myself. So I know I can do it. And so you just have to believe in yourself and just do it. So
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, I mean, success is simple, not easy, right? Like, you're going to get a very clear blueprint on how to go out and jumpstart your career and get the ball rolling and do all of the things. And there's 90 people in this room, and I hope that all 90 people go out and do the things, but the reality is that not everybody will. And it's right there in front of you. And I tell myself this every morning, right? I get up and I'm ready to start my day. And there's things like call bias, which we'll talk about, or someone will talk about in their Ignite session. And it's like, just have the courage to do the things and the results happen. So I hope that by the end of Ignite, or trust that by the end of Ignite, you will be lit up with the possibilities of your own success and your will to do it. All right, next slide. So would you like to know the key to success and abundance? It is the 6 personal perspectives. The 6 personal perspectives are the ways that successful people who have come before us think and approach problems or challenges. It's about really the mindset of success. These came out of Gary Keller's researching successful people in all fields and asked the question, what is the difference? What is it that differentiates those who achieve at the highest level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? From the answers, he discovered these 6 common perspectives. They work in unison, they do not stand alone, and they work most effectively in the order shown. Embracing and committing to all 6 perspectives will help you achieve success in your life and in your business. And let's explore them. These I've come to live my life by. Both in work and outside of work. So I'm excited to go through these with you. The first perspective, if we want to go to the next slide, that all high achievers share is commitment to self-mastery. Notice that it's not commitment to mastery, it's commitment to self-mastery. So what's the difference? Self-mastery is the possession of great knowledge, skills, and habits that make you the master of you. When you commit to achieving self-mastery, number 1, you know your goals. Number 2, you know your strengths and weaknesses. And number 3, you know how to work with both your strengths and weaknesses to seek and master the necessary knowledge, skills, and habits to reach your goals. Throughout Ignite, you will be acquiring the skills and developing habits to be successful, moving you towards self-mastery. So the thing I love about this is that it's talking about your strengths and your weaknesses, right? I mean, we all have them. And the better you know yourself, the easier it is for you to look for opportunities to learn and to master your weaknesses and to become the leader in your strengths, right? And so the question I have for you is, are you committed to self-mastery? That is, are you committed to knowing your goals, strengths, and weaknesses? Are you committed to acquiring the knowledge, skills, and habits to be successful in this business? And personally, I think you've answered the question just by being here today, right? And it's the number 1 perspective, self-mastery, which is why we're talking about it in the first step of Ignite. Next slide. So the second perspective is to commit to the 80-20 principle. The idea that 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your results may be one of the most powerful principles that you can apply to your life. This is actually the perspective that made me realize that I needed to hire a cleaning person. It's the one that made me realize that I really need to get somebody to help me with my 3 kids in the morning because it's chaos. And that hour or 2 hours of chaos is actually much more it's much more important for me to pour that into my business because I'm at my peak during that time. And so it's 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your results. It's about getting the most from your time and effort. It's about maximizing your results. It's about having focus. You'll sometimes hear that 20% activities described as big rocks or the one thing or your dollar productive activities. What would you guess is the most dollar productive activity of a real estate agent? Who wants to answer that question? Fiona.
Hi, I would say lead gen, probably.
You are correct. So that is definitely the most dollar producing activity for a real estate agent, right? Because it's what sparks all other activities that you do. Your money-making activity is lead generation. When you commit to this, you'll make more money, have more time with your family, and be more organized, right? And so we had a team leader here This was like a couple years ago. And she said something that has always stuck in my head. And it's lead generation will solve all your problems. And whenever my business starts to dip down, or, I have deals that fall apart, or I'm feeling like I'm just not going to get to my goal, or, I'm just feeling unfocused, I just time block an hour or 2 hours to lead generate. Even if I've already done it for the day, like if I need to refocus, I just sit back down, because it reminds me that that's my job. My job is to help people. And the only way I can help people is if I find people to help. Right. And that's where all of your income comes from. All right, next slide. So the third perspective that top performers recognize and understand is how to move from E, which is entrepreneurial, to P, which is purposeful. All of us can attain a certain level of success utilizing our natural abilities, and we can also expect to hit a ceiling at some point. For example, let's say as a kid, you got really good at doing cartwheels and flips. Did having that natural ability allow you to perform in a circus? Most likely the answer is no. You would need to practice and work with a coach for some time before you could perform in a circus. Likewise, we all hit a ceiling of achievement by relying on our natural abilities alone. And the way to break through that ceiling of achievement is to get purposeful. What does it mean to get purposeful? It means focusing on the models and the systems that organize you and your tasks into the most efficient and effective endeavor possible. Does anyone here have an example of a time when they reached a ceiling of achievement? I'll start with mine, and then maybe people will raise their hand. So for me, my ceiling of achievement was being in a salaried position. Like I said, I'd been in sales for 20 years, and all of those sales positions came with a salary and some kind of bonus structure. And it was so frustrating because, I'm kind of an overachiever by nature, and I love to win, but there's only so much winning you can do when you're confined to X amount of dollars, X amount of salary. And it always seemed like the greater I achieved in my position, the more the less, or the more they would change around the commission structures. And it was like, oh, Erin's making too much money. We have to change this. Right now, all of a sudden there's not bonuses for X, Y, and Z, only A, B, C. And it was super frustrating. And that's actually what led me to get out of the sales roles that I was in and move over into real estate. But I didn't start as a real estate salesperson. I started off again in a salaried position, supporting other realtors. And I got to this point where I was like, I know I can do that. I know I can go out and take on this position as just being a commission salesperson, but it was super scary for me. And that's when I decided to break through my ceiling. And the only way that I could do that was through becoming more purposeful, committing to self-mastery. So does anybody else? Let's see, we got Jacob. Go ahead. Tell us about your ceiling of achievement.
This one's a little bit early, but when I started in sales at 16, I started seasonal. And at the job I started at fragrance sales, which was a big commission job. And they usually didn't allow the minors to be full-time or part-time, just seasonal. But because of my sales and my accomplishments, they allowed me to stay past the season.
Good for you. So you proved yourself and you broke through the ceiling.
Yes.
Awesome. Anybody else have anything they want to share? All right. So many who left a salary job for a career in business and real estate say they hit a ceiling in how far they were promoted or how much they were paid. High achievers are always looking for the purposeful way. By doing this, they break through the ceiling of their natural behavior. Wouldn't you like to achieve success and break through that ceiling? What about living a larger life? Ignite is not only designed to help you start your business, it helps you grow your business. Ignite will help you move from entrepreneurial to purposeful with mindset, models, systems, and breakthroughs. And I have personally experienced this, and I know that it works. So yeah, I mean, the most important thing that you can do is follow the model, learn the system, script practice, role play, become an expert in your field, commit to self-mastery. Okay, next screen. Okay, so the fourth perspective is an obvious one, and you're already doing that by being here today, being learning-based. A learning-based individual appreciates learning for their own improvement. They know that they know what they know and know there is always more to know. An individual who does not appreciate learning is what's referred to as ignorance-based. They know what they know and they ignore everything else. And I'm sure you probably all know people like that. It's super frustrating, and they can never go past their ceiling doing that. Learning-based individuals have made the decision to use effective learning as the foundation piece for their action plan to develop their life. Training and education are a big part of moving forward to attain goals and succeed at a high level. Learning-based individuals commit to the process of acquiring skill-based habits. Ignite is just the start for you as a learning-based individual. You'll learn about many more learning opportunities available to you from Keller Williams. So there are so many ways that you can become learning-based in this industry, in your life. And it, with technology, has just become more and more accessible. So one big thing that I do to commit to being learning-based is Audible. And so I looked at all of the pockets in my day of times where I could probably multitask and start fitting in some of this learning-based foundation. And that is, you know, when I'm getting ready to start my day in the morning, I have Audible on, listening to, you know, some book. Right now I'm reading the book or listening to the book Traction. You know, I've got 20 books over here. So I get up before I work out, I read for 10 minutes, couple pages, work out, get ready, listen to an Audible. So by the time I'm starting my day working with my clients, I've already put the energy and effort into being learning-based. And then I also will do script practice and role play before I start my lead generation. So you just have to develop the habits, and there are so many ways to do that. And really it's while you're driving, you can be listening to something. Sometimes I pull up script practice and I listen to other people's calls. There's a lot of recorded calls out there. You can pretty much Google anything, and there's always a takeaway every day for as long as I've been doing this, which is nothing compared to people that have been in this industry, you know, 20 plus years. So on the next slide, we've got another quote from Albert Einstein, who was undoubtedly a learning-based individual. Can someone volunteer to read this quote for us? I'll pick somebody. How about Max? You want to read this quote for us?
All right. I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious.
Thank you. So being learning-based means staying in curiosity and being eager to learn more. So again, I mean, all of you are here because you're probably curious. You obviously are learning-based, and you all want to move from E to P, becoming, you know, purposeful in your businesses. All right, the fifth perspective on the next slide is removing limiting beliefs. This is really hard to do. High achievers remove beliefs that hold them back. So what are limiting beliefs? They're mindsets that limit you. Like the ones on the slide, I don't have time for training. I can't be successful in this market. I can't devote 3 hours a day to lead generation. We all have limiting beliefs, and it's best to recognize them and change them. For example, are any of these thoughts in your head? I have to be an expert and know everything before I can begin my business. I'm not valid yet. I know I had that one. I don't know how I can achieve a profit goal that will fund my life this year. I had that one too. I don't feel comfortable talking to people about real estate. Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I felt like I didn't know enough to really have a conversation, and the business will come to me naturally. I don't need to lead generate. If you're thinking that one, you definitely got to get that one out of your head. And there are so many ways to lead generate. So, limiting beliefs are all around us, and it's not even necessarily just about real estate. It's, any endeavor that you try to take on in your life. I have limiting beliefs around being a mom. I've got 3 kids, and every day it's like, I'm not doing good enough. My kids hate me. This one, they're all around us. And so in order to successfully develop at a higher level, you must clear your mind of limiting beliefs first. Throughout Ignite, you're going to learn how to combat your limiting beliefs and turn them into action. What limiting beliefs are you having right now as you embark in this new career? Let's do an activity. We're going to unlimit any limiting beliefs. So there should be a page in your participant guide. I have it pulled up here. Let me see. Hold on, let's see. Okay, so that is, what page is this? Page 1.8 in your manuals. So I have to be an expert. And so basically we're going to read the limiting beliefs. And you're also going to add 1 or 2 of your own limiting beliefs. And then I want you to rewrite each sentence into a belief that is positive, and that will propel you into action. Okay, so for example, I have to be an expert and know everything before I can begin my own business. I'm not valid yet. And we could change that to something like, I am eager and confident to start my business now and learn along the way. Make sense? So in order to, achieve your success, you have to release any fear of failure, rejection, and success. So this is going to help us, kind of reword the most common limiting beliefs for new real estate agents. And then again, you can add your own, and then we'll share a little bit if you're okay with that after we do this. So take 5 minutes. Work on this, and then we're going to come back and I'll ask for a couple examples. So you guys can go ahead and work on that. All right, so we're going to take 5 volunteers. We'll just go through each question. Who would like to share how they transformed statement number 1? I have to be an expert and know everything before I can begin my business. I'm not valid yet. Raise your hand if you'd like to share that. Brianna, go ahead.
Hi, sorry, it took a sec to find the unmute.
Go ahead.
So I had said it's okay that I don't have all the answers. I never will. But I know how to find them. You know, I have a team that supports me and only wants to support my success and their success. So, you know, if it's something that I don't know at the time, I can certainly bring people in that will help find the answer.
Perfect. Thank you. That's
Sure.
right. I mean, you know, whether you're on a team or you're an individual agent, there's always somebody within your market center that is going to be able to help you and answer your questions. And that's the one thing about the Keller Williams culture, not the one thing, it's one of the things I love about the KW culture is that it's a sharing culture. And I thought it was crazy how, you know, people are sharing their sales secrets. Like that's the number one rule in sales. You know, you don't tell other people how you're successful. They're going to steal your ideas. And that was the mentality that I always came from. And in Keller Williams, like everybody's willing to share. So definitely take advantage of that. Thank you for sharing. Who wants to do the next one? I don't know how I can achieve a profit goal that will fund my life this year. Marjorie.
Actually, I was doing the first one.
Oh. Do you want to share your second one? Did you do that? What could you say?
I'm not really sure, actually.
All right. Do you want us to pass on? Do you want to give it a shot?
I'll pass, I guess.
Okay. All right. Amanda, go ahead.
Hi there. I put that if I put in the effort to follow the models and systems, I can make more money than ever before.
Love it. Yes. And it's 1,000% correct. Follow the model, do the steps. You will be amazed at the money that you can make in this industry. It's insane. So, but you have to put in the effort and you have to do the things. All right. Number 3, I'm not comfortable talking with people about real estate. Who wants to reframe that one for us? If no one volunteers, I'm going to pick someone. All right, we're going with Trey.
Said number 4.
Number
Or number
3.
3.
I'm not comfortable talking with people about real estate.
I haven't got to that one yet, but let me read it. You could say I'm learning every day and I'm not comfortable.
So you're learning every day.
And can talk to people about what I do know.
Love it. Yes, thank you. Yeah. I mean, remember, real estate conversations come in all shapes and sizes, right? It's not just, let me present to you how I am the expert at everything in real estate. Find things that you do know and are confident in. And the more you have those conversations, the easier they are. And before you know it, everywhere you go, people are going to talk. They're going to just approach you about real estate. How's the market? Why do you ask? Are you looking to buy or sell a home? Like, the more you script practice and role play, the easier those conversations become. Also, get yourself some cool shirts that talk about real estate, because then people will bring it up for you. All right, who's going to tackle number 4? I can't devote time each day to lead generation. Fiona, go ahead. Oh, we got lots of hands for this one. We'll take a couple.
This is one that I actually resonate with, because like making that schedule for myself really helped. So I would just say, like, I'll make a schedule that works for me and I'll time block a couple hours each day to lead gen. Even if it's just an hour on a specific day, it still helps. So
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, that is so true, because what I learned, they drill into your head lead gen from 9 to 11, right? I mean, that's in an ideal world, but we all have different lives and different schedules. And the most important lead gen time block is the one you'll actually commit to and do. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. Agnes, go ahead. One more on this.
Yes, I'd just like to say that sometimes the hardest thing is getting started. And so if you just say, make a bargain with yourself to say, at least I'm going to start with just 15 minutes, because in our head, it's always large blocks of time. And if we start with 15 minutes, it's amazing how much, once you get into it, it's easy. It's just a matter of getting started. At least that's how I find coming from a creative process,
Perfect. Yes. Thank you. All right. Yeah, start with one, right? I mean, even if it's, I'm going to make one phone call today, I'm going to reach out to one person. And then before you know it, you realize that was easy. Let me do it again. All right, let's see. Does anybody feel comfortable sharing their own limiting belief that they wrote down? And then how did you change that limiting belief into a positive affirmation? Marjorie, did you have one that you, okay. Let's see. Fiona, you want to share your own limiting belief?
Yes, are you able to hear me right now? I'm not sure if I'm on mute or not.
We can hear you.
Okay. One of the things when I started real estate, I was kind of like, oh, I'm only 20. None of my friends want to buy a house right now. But my mentor kind of taught me to change that mindset into like, I can help them with rentals now, and then down the road, they'll need to buy a house, in a couple of years. But also with lead gen, I'll be able to catch up to other people, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Any real estate goal you can help someone with. Kara, you want to share one of yours?
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry. My camera is all cracked up, so I'm in the midst of getting it fixed. But one of my major limiting beliefs, and it actually kind of goes a little bit deep, and it's I'm afraid of my own success. And I've been in the industry for just under 2 years, and it's actually a very real fear that being scared of your own success actually limits you in your ability and sometimes can incapacitate you to do certain things like lead gen or this and that. So it's like sometimes you have to take a second and face what your real fears are. Even if they seem like they're positive fears, it's still something that can hold you back. So that limiting belief of success for me is that's my birthright, or that's something that I've came to this table for. This is what I'm here for. I wouldn't be in this industry if it wasn't for a personal growth, if it wasn't for success through helping others, right? And so boiling down what success really is it monetary success? Is it something that you can quantify, or is it something that's more of quality? So every day I wake up and I'm like, I did something successful, even if it's I made an appointment for my buyers right now who are in my Wyoming, like something like that. So learning to break through that is actually a bigger thing than you would think.
Yes, thank you for sharing. I can totally relate to that. There was a point where I basically wouldn't answer my phone because I was so busy, and that sounds crazy probably to newer agents maybe, but maybe Kara, you can relate that I was like, I can't possibly take on any more clients. I'm not going to be able to provide the kind of support that they need. Like, I'm going to screw it all up. I'm just going to focus on these, 10 buyers I'm already working with. And once they're done, then I'll start answering the phone again and connecting with people. And my mentor said, you're actually hurting them worse by not answering the phone. You're the real estate expert. You're the person that they need to connect with in order to get to their goal. And how about instead of taking on that client, you create a connecting relationship to support somebody else's goals? And so then I started, if I couldn't physically take them on as a client because it was too much, I would just pass them on to somebody that was maybe in my downline that I was trying to support, or another agent that I knew was struggling in the market center, or a new agent trying to jumpstart their career. And that was awesome. I was able to benefit from a referral commission on a closed deal. And I gave somebody else an opportunity to pay their bills and to really get their career going. So yeah, you just have to you have to catch yourself in those moments of limiting beliefs. And if you're telling yourself a negative thought, you have to reframe that. And then it has to become your mantra. And so what some people do is, having a gratitude journal in the morning, or maybe you practice this exercise when you start your day. Write down any of those negative thoughts that are in your head, and then you rewrite them and keep them in front of you for the day. And it does wonders for your mindset and your potential. So we're going to go over the last personal perspective, and then we'll take a short break. So the sixth perspective, if you want to go to the next slide, is about being accountable. So what does being accountable mean to you? Anybody want to share what they feel like being accountable means to them? Jacob? Jacob, do you want to share?
Yeah, I feel like when you're accountable, no matter what your experience level, you'll gain respect through just being able to do what you do, regardless of how experienced you are. Just your willingness to do it like right away. You know what I mean? Like versus like putting it off, even if you have someone that's an expert that puts off their work, they don't really look as professional, and you're probably less likely to work with them.
Right. So doing what you say you're going to do and getting things done. Awesome. Let's go with Nicholas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I believe being accountable is owning your own actions. As if you make a mistake, you know that, you recognize it, you work on what you can do to fix it and do better in the future. And also when you use positive things, knowing that you did something well, being proud of it and still focusing on improving.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, being accountable means owning up to your mistakes, taking extreme ownership for things when you do something wrong. I'm a big Jocko Willink fan, and I just finished one of his books about extreme ownership. And when you start holding yourself accountable to, admitting your mistakes, and then also taking a course of action to fix it, that is a very high level of accountability. And I love that. Thank you for bringing that up. Does one more person want to share what being accountable means to them? I saw a few hands up, but they went away. All right, Kara, go ahead.
I think that being accountable also means to yourself, and I mean, yes, to yourself and to others, but if you're going to say that you're doing something, do it no matter what your, like Jacob was saying, your experience level is. If you don't know what you're doing, or if you have no idea how to make content, do it bad, do it ugly, do it goofy, do it silly, because you have no basis to start. You don't have a baseline. If you say that you're going to help your clients and this is the first time you've ever opened a lockbox and your nail breaks, because I've been there, do it. Break your nail, get it fixed. You're here for a reason. Your reason isn't for you, it's for them. You are the face of your business, right? And you are the purpose behind your business, but that is not your business, is you. Your business is others. So if you're going to do something and you're going to tell someone you're going to do something, back that up, because that is where it comes from. That's where your strength comes from. That's where you can say, you know what? I'm not the best, but I'm here.
Yes. And on top of that, remember that you have amazing resources available to you and people in your life at Keller Williams that can support you. So if you say you're going to do something and find yourself in a position of not knowing how to do it, bring somebody along to help you get there. So accountability is first and foremost an attitude and an approach to your entire life. An accountable person says, everything in my life is a result of my choices and actions. I own my life. Accountability is also a tool for continually changing the results in your life in those areas that matter most. Your 20%, right? A person who is accountable in their 20% says, I own my life. And in certain areas, I want to continually improve my results. I will be purposeful and I will be learning based to continue improving. Ignite will provide you with the tools to develop and cultivate your accountability to be successful. So what are some ways that you can be accountable right now? Anybody want to share? We already have a hand up. Marjorie. So what are some ways that you can be accountable right now?
Just always following up with with what you say you're going to do. What I wanted to say is the 3 people who just spoke, they're all younger, they're getting started, and I'm already like really proud of what they're saying and doing. I manage 30 people, salespeople, different things in banking. And just the fact that they are already know or believe all this and follow all this in their heart, I think is extraordinary. And I just want to say how impressed I am by them already.
Yes. Thank you so much for saying that. And it's very true. It's funny, it must be sort of the people that are drawn to Keller Williams, right? And people can go to any brokerage that they want to. And a lot of you may be here because somebody saw something in you and said, hey, you would really fit in well to our culture at Keller Williams. I do that with co-brokes that I work with. When we close a deal, if I felt like somebody really embodies the Keller Williams culture, I introduce them to our team lead and say, listen, I think this person would do really well here in this environment. And it's an environment of accountability. It's an environment of these 6 personal perspectives and of all the things that Keller culture is. So yeah, I'm excited to hear that even our young people in the room are living their life that way now. So who else? Let's see. We have Brianna. You raised your hand for what are some ways that you can be accountable right now? Oh, you might be on mute.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry about that. So myself and another new agent meet every Sunday, and we alternate with who's going to determine a goal for that week. And we talk about kind of, if we accomplished our goal, how it went, if we didn't, what were the barriers. For me, I find it helpful because she helps me be accountable. Like if it's just me, it's easier, I think, to kind of like, your mind starts going and you're like, oh, maybe that could wait. Or, there's always that, piece of your brain, I think, that tries to like take over and maybe sabotage. So, having that, consistency, and that expectation that, we're both doing this together, setting like uncomfortable goals. It doesn't always have to do with real estate. It usually does, but even just physical or mental, just certain things we can kind of focus on. And it's good because I think what is easier for me is something she struggles with and vice versa. So we kind of can challenge each other in that way too. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways that accountability partners show up in life. And your brain naturally wants to take the path of least resistance. Your brain wants to do what is like the least amount of effort. So does your body, right? And so when your alarm goes off in the morning to get up and it's just you, it's a lot easier to hit snooze and stay in bed. But when you have somebody waiting to meet you somewhere, or you have something on your calendar that you're supposed to do, you can't just not show up for it. And so that creates a layer of accountability. And the best days for me are the days where I have a full calendar, where like I don't have a choice. I have to get up and do these things. I have to fit in certain stuff before certain appointments. And the days where it's not a lot of stuff on my calendar, it's a lot easier to get motivated to get going. And so there's accountability partners, asking for help, doing your Ignite assignments, right? So you're going to have homework throughout these sessions. You're going to have time blocks where you have to pick up the phone and make some phone calls and do some work. And all of that stuff are layers of accountability. Getting a productivity coach. So the Market Center offers productivity coaching, and that accountability to keeping your phone calls, showing up for lead generation, engaging with your partners, Having a coach or a mentor, all of those are ways that you could create accountability in your world. But it's very difficult to do it on your own because you're going to talk yourself out of it. That's why these other things exist. So remember, you guys can reach the highest level of achievement in business and life by adopting these 6 personal perspectives. I would recommend, cut out the slides, like print out and cut out the key 6 personal perspectives, put them on your computer, put them on your desk, put them on your wall, put them on your bathroom mirror. And if you live your life by those and you bring attention and focus to them every day and keep them in the back of your mind, and you live your life that way, your world is going to change. It's amazing. So let's see, this is a good spot to, oh wait, no. Okay, I see where we're going to have a break. One more slide. Okay, so go to the next slide, please. Happiness is not an individual sport. This quote is about happiness, and yet it applies to business as well. Do you all agree? Your business success is not an individual sport. As Gary Keller has learned, no one succeeds alone. The quote comes from Sean Acor, who pioneered the research that reveals happy humans are more productive, creative, better at problem solving, and even healthier and less stressed. Would you agree that these outcomes lead to better business success? For sure, it does. You've probably, if you've been in any kind of sales before, a lot of your sales mentors probably told you to smile when you're on the phone, keep a mirror in front of you so that you can see what your facial expressions look like when you talk to people, get up and move around, get your blood flowing. All of that stuff transfers over to the person that you're communicating with and talking to. So embrace being accountable. Find a mentor, a coach, a partner to help you be accountable and happy. I personally have a coach. I've had one for 2 years now, and it's knowing that I talk to her every other week and knowing that that meeting is coming up and she's going to ask me how I've done on all the things that I said I was going to do over the last 2 weeks creates that accountability. And I don't want to get on the phone and say nothing. I've done nothing, right? And whether I say I've done something or I've done nothing, I'm still paying her. She's still going to show up. But I'm the one that's losing. I'm not going to get the results that I wanted to get. So before we take a break, I would like to get some ahas, if we want to just quickly go to the next slide. So you're going to notice throughout Ignite that we will share ahas because they're powerful and meaningful insights that come from the reflection on the experiences that we're having. And when we share them out loud, we further strengthen our power of the aha, and we help fellow participants have powerful ahas as well. So it's a good idea to jot them down in your participant guide so that you can go back and review them at later times. So let's hear from a few of you of what ahas you've had so far about the 6 personal perspectives before we take a break. Anybody want to share an aha that they had so far this morning? Marjorie, would you like to share your aha?
Yep. By the way, I go by Margie. My full name's Margie, but just an FYI.
All right.
It's something that I know, but creating a habit, positive, good habits. And I've been doing the morning mindset, and there's a 66-day challenge that you do the same thing, for 66 days and that kind of thing. And then they become habits. So I think that mention of the habit really just kind of sunk in, like I have to make things a habit. And then it will just be second nature to do them.
Thank you so much for sharing. And by the way, anyone who has not heard of the 66-day challenge, I encourage you to participate in one. It's what got me out of debt before I became a realtor. I took the 66-day challenge and I said to myself, like, I really just want to pay off this debt. It wasn't a lot, but I just couldn't get out from under it. And my habit was look at my bank account every day, pull it up, open it up, see how much money I have, how much money I owe, and pay what I could. And that challenge got me out of a debt that I just could not seem to get away from very quickly. And I have never had that happen again. That was 4 years ago. And I still to this day open up my bank accounts every day. And it became a habit, and it took that long to develop it. And then it's like a muscle, right? And then you just keep doing it all the time. And before you know it, it's just part of your life. And that's what we're hoping to help you guys build throughout this Ignite series, is the little habits that are going to add up to a successful career. Does one more person want to share aha or takeaway? We'll do one more. We can't leave until somebody shares one more. I'll pick one. Okay, here I go. Let's go with Alexis.
All right. I think I need to tell myself to like be more positive, and like I can make time for lead generation. I can talk about real estate. So just be like more positive in my own thoughts.
Thank you for sharing. Yes. I mean, I think if everybody uses that exercise and starts reframing some of their negative thoughts every day, or when you catch yourself doing it, you don't even have to, maybe that's too much to do in the morning, but throughout the day, if you just hear yourself telling yourself a negative thought, just change it and write it down in that moment if you can. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. Please take your cameras off, and if you have to use the bathroom or whatever, like there's been a lot of crazy stories. So just leave your computer where it is. Don't worry about coming back to it for 10 minutes. It is 10:18. So we'll pick this up at 10:28 on the dot. All right, we are at 10:28. So we will keep moving along. So Keller Williams is big on mindset. KW is also big on models and systems based on the proven success strategies of those who found success before. Our job is to take advantage of this collective wisdom so we can be highly successful as well as make our chosen career for life. So let's see how KW culture will power you through your career. Oh, next slide. Perfect. So there's an entire page devoted to culture on Connect. I'm not sure if you guys have had a chance to explore that or not, but definitely check it out. So our company intranet of resources available to all of you. In fact, culture is the #1 reason people say they choose Keller Williams. Today, we're going to focus on 3 elements of culture, which is MVVPB, Red Day, and KW Cares. Like I said before, the culture really is, it's what inspires me and keeps me and gets me motivated. And I see it day in and day out in our market center, in our company, going to events. So it's something that I feel very passionately about. So the next slide goes over MVVP. Sorry, I always screw this up. MVVBP, which stands for, actually, Steve, could you go to the next slide? Cool. It stands for mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. Today, we're going to look at the mission and beliefs of Keller Williams. So the next slide goes over the mission. So actually, let's have someone read it. Adele, would you read the mission for us? Take yourself off mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
Thank you. So Ignite focuses on helping to build careers worth having. Of course, the intention is to build businesses worth owning as well. And we all own our own businesses. You own your own databases. And it's probably one of the coolest things about Keller Williams is that we have our own database software that truly allows you to own your own database, which is your business. Many Keller Williams agents have built businesses worth owning and are living a great life they envision for themselves. Many Keller Williams agents have grown to the point where they are achieving fulfillment by providing experiences for others and laying foundations for legacies worth leaving. I was actually just in my market center meeting, and we were talking about wrapping up the year in December, and somebody had shared that when they first became an agent, they had a family member that was struggling, and they were, not in a position to be able to help. And through this career, when that situation came up again, they were able to contribute support where they otherwise wouldn't have been able to. And so, it's about creating a life and a business that allows you to do what you want to do, right? Most of us probably had jobs working for other companies where everything we did benefited the company, right? Like we got our paycheck at the end of the day to support our life, but again, there's that ceiling, and there's only so much that you can do, only so much you can achieve. This is a limitless industry that you're getting into. And so it's important to be very clear on what is your career worth having look like? What does your business worth owning look like? What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of experiences do you want to give to people, whether that's your kids or other people in your industry? Maybe you mentor somebody, and by gaining the knowledge and becoming the real estate expert, you're able to help other people do the same. And then what kind of legacy do you want to leave? So by the end of Ignite, we're going to revisit the mission, and we're going to explore your thoughts on the life worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. On the next slide. So part of the MVVBP is the beliefs. We call them the Y4C2Ts. At Keller Williams, all Keller Williams associates agreed to abide by these beliefs because it's the right thing to do. So number 1W is win-win or no deal. So as you guys, I mean, some of you have experience, you're writing transactions, you're working with co-brokes and doing deals. It is amazing to me how not everybody follows something similar to this in their life out as a realtor. And this has helped me tremendously with my clients, with my co-brokes, just having this mindset all the time. So win-win or no deal, this applies to really every aspect of your business, for your clients, with your co-brokes, through a transaction, getting to the closing table, and it helps you keep everybody in check. Integrity, do the right thing, right? Pretty self-explanatory, but it's very important. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. So let's discuss E for equity for a minute. Passed in 1968, the Fair Housing Act made it illegal to discriminate concerning the sale, rental, and financing of housing based on race, religion, national origin, color, gender identity, and sexual orientation. This law was expanded to prohibit discrimination based on disability or family status in 1988. The National Association of Realtors reminds us that we are the stewards of the rights of all to own, use, and transfer property, and that we must protect the free market that depends on equal opportunity. We all must hold ourselves responsible to protect housing rights in our country. In addition, being open to diverse clients and their needs is just good business. Throughout Ignite, we're going to present more about how equity, diversity, and inclusion can benefit your business. Learn more from KW's classes, The Color of Real Estate and Unconscious Bias. So we're going to do an activity from the participant guide. Let's see. Let me get to it. Okay. So you're going to pick a belief and detail in a sentence or two how they will embody, how you're going to embody that belief in your real estate work. So you're going to pick one of the beliefs here, right? So it could be anything. So for an example, win-win or no deal, like that is always, that's one that not just because it's the first one, I've done this exercise too, but the win-win or no deal for me is what helps me in every single real estate transaction. And for me, the way that I believe in that is that whether you're on the buy side or the sell side, not one party gets the best deal, right? Like it's a negotiation. And I try to help my clients understand that at the end of the day, winning is selling your house or winning is buying the house. Like that's the ultimate goal. And how we get there is by creating a fair negotiation for everybody. Do I want to get the best deal for my client? Yes, of course. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stand in the way of the ultimate goal, which is to buy or sell the property. And you know, I have those mini check-ins throughout. It's part of my conversations I have from the buyer's consultation or from the listing consultation. So take a few minutes, pick one of these beliefs and talk about how you're going to embody the belief. And then I'm going to pick two people to share. So how about this? When you're done and you're ready to share, raise your hand, and the first two people I will go with. All right, Chris Stephanie, would you like to go?
Hi, yes. So I choose commitment. So to me is I will commit to, to do my lead generation. I would commit to work hard in order to be successful.
Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, that also goes back to our being highly accountable, right? Is to commit to the things that you say you're going to do. So thank you. Judy, go ahead.
Judy,
Judy.
you gotta unmute.
Sorry about that. Good morning. So I picked integrity because I feel that that's something that you use with working with people, being dependable, being loyal, putting them first, and just being honest and upfront with people.
Love it. So the integrity sounds like it kind of combines some of the other things on here as well in your mind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. So, so this is another one of those slides that I would probably cut out and put next to the 6 personal perspectives. And if you go through your real estate career, thinking about these things and keeping them in mind, you're going to go a long way. And Randy wrote in the, this just popped up on my computer, never sacrifice, it went away. I think it said integrity for growth, which I really love, right? It's doing the right thing, even if it's not going to, it's not going to get you to your goal at the end of the day. If you're doing the right thing to help others, eventually that will show up. I have a great example of that I would love to share, that happened to me recently. I had really good friends of ours who decided to go with another realtor. I know it's the way that I look at that is I didn't do my job by reminding them enough that I could help them. So they had another agent, and our kids were in gymnastics together, and every week in gymnastics for like months, she's telling me all these stories about how she, they kept losing out on deals and they were getting really frustrated. And all I kept doing was like, okay, I know you're not my client, but I'm going to give you all my tricks and all my tips. And every week I was learning in this shifting market. And I was like, here's what you can do. Here's what you can try. And eventually they won the deal and they closed on the home. And then randomly, a couple of weeks back, I got a phone call from them saying, hey, the owners who sold this house are looking for a real estate agent. And I told them that they should work with you. Can you take them on as a client? And now we're under contract to close on another house. So, it's always doing the right thing, whether or not it's benefiting you at the end of the day. And I believe in karma, and it comes back around, right? And so these beliefs are really important to me. So the next slide goes over 2 other important components of the KW culture, and now your culture, which are Red Day and KW Cares. So by raise of hands, can you tell me if you've heard of these things, Red Day or KW Cares? Just curious how many people on here know about this. We have 75 participants in here. We've got 7, 8 hands raised. Cool. All right, so we got like 12 people. All right, so Red Day began in 2009, and it stands for Renew, Energize, and Donate. It's a day of pouring into our communities across the globe, and it occurs on the 2nd Thursday of May each year. We've built new homes from the ground up, gathered and distributed food to those who need it, organized relief efforts when natural disasters hit, and even spread joy and raised funds as only KW can when life takes an unexpected turn. So I've heard so many amazing, cool things that market centers have done for Red Day. And so I'd like to just get maybe 5 people to share if you know what your market center has done for Red Day in the past. What was that experience like? Just who are you supporting? What was Red Day directed towards? Stephanie, what did your market center do for Red Day? Did you you got your hand raised? Gretchen, do you want to share what your market center did for Red Day?
I'm sorry.
I have no idea because I'm a newer agent and I wasn't with the market center then. Okay. So I'll share, since no one else raised their hand, maybe you guys aren't familiar with, maybe you know what it is, but you don't know what anybody did. So in my market center, when I first started, we were going to a local camp that was free for inner city kids. And for the summer, it was a summer camp. And for years they had been renovating the building, you know, I guess renewing the pool, fixing the playground, adding equipment, doing landscaping, painting the buildings. And they had done such a good job over so many years that eventually there was like nothing left to do. So this past year, well, actually during COVID, they did a bunch of food drive fundraisers and donated food. And then this past year, we helped a school, a local school in the area, to spruce up their building, help plant gardens and things like that. So it's really about finding a way to give back to your community. And typically the way that it works is, you know, there's a Red Day committee, which you can actively be a part of. Most often it's run by your agent leadership council. And you find a local cause or maybe a business or a nonprofit that needs support, and then you create a plan around supporting them however they need it. And sometimes there are natural disasters that are going on that Keller Williams can step in and support them. So it's something that every Keller Williams agent should be participating in, and the entire company basically shuts down, and it's a day where you can give back to your community. And a lot of people bring their kids. I brought my daughter the first couple years that they did it as well. And, you know, COVID, I think, impacted that a little bit because we weren't all getting together, but last year was great. This year, I anticipate being even better. So KW Cares is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to serving KW associates and their qualifying family members who may be experiencing hardship as a result of a sudden emergency. KW Cares provides financial grants and aid when those unforeseen emergencies create difficult circumstances that our Keller Williams associates and their immediate families cannot overcome on their own. KW Cares has given away millions in this way. This is the very heartbeat of Keller Williams culture in action, striving to find and serve the higher purpose of business through philanthropic giving in a way that embodies values rooted in giving, caring, and sharing. You can actually participate in both Red Day and KW Cares. So a great way to participate in KW Cares is that with every closing, you can donate money. So when I first started, I was donating like $5 a closing. But there's people that donate all the way up to, hundreds. So it just depends on what you can contribute, but it's good to do something. And that money goes towards people in your own community that need support within our KW community. So agents, associates, family members. Sorry, I'm getting very distracted by that cute little baby, Kaylee. So cute. All right, the next one. So does anybody have any ahas or takeaways or anything they want to share about KW culture? Anything you've experienced maybe that, you can attest to the culture of the company? Christina?
So I joined KW literally like the next day was Red Day. So that was really neat. We had gone to paint that. I did the painting, who did other things, but it was just a neat way to meet a lot of people and see the culture in action. So for me, it was a great introduction, and it's what I consider my anniversary. So come Red Day this year, I'm going to consider it like my 1-year anniversary. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome day to have as an anniversary. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for me, the belief system, probably the thing that has always stood out to me, that and the bold laws that are on the walls. When you walk around our Keller Williams offices, hopefully yours are all the same. those things just put me in a really good frame of mind every day. And they remind me about my responsibility as a Keller Williams agent and the kind of person that I have to show up as for my clients and for my co-brokes and for my market center. So the next slide is talking about how Keller Williams as a global company and your local market center can provide value to you and your clients. So since 1983, Keller Williams has cultivated an agent-centric, technology-driven, and education-based culture that rewards agents as stakeholders. Keller Williams is the world's largest global real estate franchise by agent count and has more than 1,100 offices and 200,000 associates. Keller Williams is also #1 in units and sales volume in the United States and at the forefront of technology, training, and culture. KWX is the holding company of Keller Williams and is composed of Keller Williams Worldwide, Keller Manage, Keller Offers, and Keller Home Financial Services, consisting of Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered, all of which are designed to serve you, the agent. It's like amazing, actually. The amount of support that's there, that's truly devoted to your success, your growth, and our clients too. All of these things are there for us to do the best job that we possibly can. And I think it's really important for you guys to know all of this stuff because you should have a lot of confidence in what you're doing, in who you're working with, who you're aligned with, and be really proud of the organization that you decided to belong to in order to launch your career. So, that's why they're sharing all of this, right? And it doesn't, it should matter to your clients too. And you can lean into a lot of these things to help you support you in your growth with your clients. But I think most importantly, it's just good to know that your company has your back, that there's always somebody to lean into and get support from. And you're not alone, right? You're not just like, cool, I got my license, good luck to you, right? Like there's always something on the calendar. There's always somebody for you to plug into for support. All right. So the next slide. Cool. So these statistics are from year-end 2021. You can find updated stats on the website. I don't know if Steve, maybe you could, I don't know if you have access to what I'm looking at, but there's a website where you can look up the most recent awards if somebody wants to post that in the group chat. But these are from year-end 2021, and there's also some stats from 2022. So how does being a part with KW benefit you and your customers? Basically, we offer the services of Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, and Keller Offers to the people that you know. You can use these statistics to express your value to clients as needed. So remember, even though you are maybe a brand new agent and you don't have, you don't personally have the experience, or you don't have, the stats, or you can talk to people about how Keller Williams is the top franchise for veterans if you're trying to get into a veteran community. If you're working with, female groups, it's the top female-friendly company in the US. It's in the top 500 franchises in 2022, the world's best employers 2021. So sometimes when I'm, one of the things that I put effort into is trying to grow my downline and recruit agents. These are the things that I'm talking to people about, the fact that it's the best place to work multiple years in a row. Our clients should know that we have America's best customer experience. And that doesn't necessarily come from specifically Keller Williams. It comes from the trainings from KW and how to treat your clients, which transfers down to their experience. And all of that stuff is really important. So you can lean into these statistics as you're trying to grow your business. Maybe you use them to do social media posts to generate engagement of other agents out there who maybe are unhappy with their brokerages that they're in, and they really need some more training and support, and they want to be part of something bigger. You can share these stats with those who express interest in joining the real estate industry in general, right? Like who doesn't, if you're out there unhappy in your job, who wouldn't want to go be a part of the best company to work in? Best employers for diversity. Like there's a really cool list. So it's headquarters.kw.com/awards if it's not posted in the chat. So yeah, so one of the things that they want me to talk about is Keller Williams' global reach in 50 regions and how agents can expand their reach beyond their own market center. And so what that looks like is if we don't currently have a market center in another country, like let's say that you love to travel and you're traveling to a country where Keller Williams doesn't exist yet, then you could actually be a participant in opening up a market center. So if you're able to make connections or you find real estate agents in that area that want to start their own Keller Williams franchise, your team lead or whoever has helped you join Keller Williams could help you in guiding you to the right person. I'm not 100% sure who that is, but the point is be entrepreneurial, like have that in the back of your head that you can help grow Keller Williams as a company, expanding it wherever you know there's a need. The next slide, training and coaching. So you may prefer to go online to, like, you can connect with a list of courses. There is, if you've ever explored the Keller Williams University, there's literally something for everything you could possibly imagine wanting to learn about. I think taking Ignite is a really good introduction to a lot of the resources and training opportunities that there are. But if you're just like hanging around and you want to know, maybe you want some training on buyers, or you want some training on having good lead generation scripts, you have access to all of that at your fingertips. So Keller Williams is known for its stellar coaching and training, and obviously earned top awards from Training Magazine over 4 years to enter their exclusive Hall of Fame, which is really cool. Keller Williams recognizes the importance and value of training like this Ignite course and coaching programs like Bold that many agents take twice a year. I just finished my 5th Bold. And every time I've taken it, I've grown my career and I've learned something different every time. So you think you're hearing the same thing over and over, but it's really amazing what you pick up on. Training is offered in several different ways to make it accessible and possible. You may access content on both Connect, our intranet website, and via Connect Live, accessible from Connect and our live on-demand video library. There are short videos offered daily on Connect Live, and there is a complete on-demand library available for whenever you need that comprises hundreds of hours of market of the moment training by the best in the business. So they're all taught by different people. I definitely recommend that you guys check it out. There's 2 big annual events for training, coaching, and networking. Family reunions happens over several days in February. So if you've been on the fence about going, I highly recommend it. There's breakout sessions. You can meet a lot of new people. This past year, just from the people I met at Family Reunion in February of last year, I've closed 5 deals, not like outside of my market center, from referral clients. So meaning I referred people to agents that I met at Family Reunion, just people in my database and sphere who needed support outside of Connecticut and Massachusetts. And then I've also received I've closed 3 deals from receiving referrals from those connections that I made. So yes, it's about training and it's about engaging in the culture, but it's also about meeting people, connecting, finding areas of opportunity to refer business. And then the other one is Mega Camp, which is also a several-day seminar in August. And you can attend those. I did that one this year as well, and it was awesome. So thinking back to the 6 personal perspectives, which one do you feel applies to this category of value? Anybody want to answer that one? Which of the 6 personal perspectives are we applying when we're talking about training? Fiona.
I would say being training Like, what was it, learning based?
Yes. Making yourself and committing to being learning based should be at the foundation of your action plan. You should be constantly finding ways to engage in learning and training. All right, the next slide. Cool. How would you like a personal assistant to stay connected with your clients and potential clients, remind you of your deadlines, appointments, and who to connect with each day, track the progress of every deal, and in real time project your income at no extra cost to you? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, you already have it with KW Technology. And by the way, when I first started with Keller Williams, this wasn't a thing yet. So I remember when they were piloting it and it was all coming out, and it's so cool to see it all come together, and the technology and resources within Command are incredible. So KW believes that technology exists to simplify everyday life, making room for what truly matters and giving you the freedom to be more human and more present. So your business is taken care of by plugging in to the database, using Keller commands, and using it effectively is really going to help you focus on what's most important, which is your actual conversations, talking to people, going on appointments. This is all just here to help support that and feed into your business. So as home and business increasingly coexist and virtual life weaves itself into reality, KW Technology provides you with the right tools, tech, and resources to help you maintain your business at the highest level. Command is the homepage for every agent's business. So by raise of hands, how many of you have gotten into Command already? Like, who has played around with it? Maybe input leads, you're tracking your transactions. So I'm going to pick two of you who I haven't heard from yet to tell me, what is your, what's your experience with it? How would you describe using Command? Jake, would you like to go?
Yeah, so I'm a pretty new agent for the Norwell office. So I've only really been there for the past month or so, but messing around with Command, I have a few leads for this time in spring of 2024. So I plugged those in and put a smart plan on a couple of them to do a quarterly call, and just trying to kind of build the database a little bit, but I don't have a ton in yet, but from what I've done, it seems definitely pretty beneficial to get as many people and any contacts that you can in there.
Perfect. And would you say that it's pretty user friendly?
Yeah, I would say, if you know how to do anything with any other type of database or even Excel or anything like that, it's pretty easy. And then also there's, at least my office does some trainings discussing it and whatnot. And then there's a lot of stuff online as well. If you get stuck or if you're not really familiar with it enough to know where to go or what to click on, it seems like there's a lot out there to help you out.
Thank you. All right. So Mustafa, would you like to share your experience with Command? You're on mute, I think.
Yes, it's been a great experience. You could actually document all your clients in there. For me personally, I run multiple projects other than real estate, so it's hard for me to keep track of my clients. So there's options where you could put notes. When I go back to my notes, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what's going on. I could track that. I could put them on a smart plan. I could track the progress, where I'm at with the client, and it just makes your life so much easier. Get familiar with Command. It will make your business so much easier.
Thank you. Yeah. And honestly, guys, the best time to do that is now, before you get too busy. That's one thing that I've seen happen over and over again with agents is, you keep saying like, oh, I'll get to it. I'll add that data. I'll do this. And before you know it, your business takes off and you have no idea when people's birthdays are. You're not able to send handwritten note cards. Your data's not complete. And then instead of focusing on growth, you're backtracking and you're trying to clean up your database. So I'm sure later on in Ignite, so you're going to have some projects around adding contacts and really strengthening your database. It's the easiest way to do lead generation as a new agent. Call people, get their data, tell them you do want to be able to stay in touch with them. I want to make sure I have your updated address, and take the conversation from there. So it's cool. Actually, to Mustafa's point, I had on break, I had this email from a client, and it said, "Hey, Erin, I know we haven't talked to you in probably 2 years, but we're ready to buy a house now." I've had them on a smart search on the MLS, and I have no idea who they are. It was probably a lead like that I first got when I started working in real estate. And so I went back into Command, and the notes were there. I never even actually communicated with them over the phone. It was all via text message. It was from some like listing lead, and that wasn't the right house for them. It was already under contract when they inquired, and I just took the data and I set them up on a search alert, and they've been getting my emails for 2 years, and now all of a sudden they're ready. So, it's really important to put people on these campaigns, because you never know when they're going to be ready to make a move. So basically, the Command is your database of names and contact information, like the contacts in your phone, and with a lot more information. So it's all at your fingertips when you need it. There's a goal tracker, so you can enter your goals for yourself for the month and year, and it's going to track your activities and your conversion rates for projected income. And it is so important for you guys to know what your numbers are. How many, like for me, for example, because I track my data year after year, and I've always believed in that, being in sales for as long as I have, it simplifies your life knowing what your numbers are. So, because of my year over year trends, when I set my GCI goal this year and my unit goal this year, 2022, last year, it told me I need to have 20 conversations a day, 20 real estate related conversations a day to get to my goal. And so if you're tracking all of that in your database, it makes it really simple. Like, pick up the phone, find a way to talk real estate, set up smart plans, text people, like, do bold 100s, like do whatever you have to do to get to that number. But instead of focusing on the big number, you focus on the day-to-day activities. And the only way to know what your conversion rates are is to track your data. Task manager to track all the things you're committed to completing. So going back to the belief system, and the accountability factor is doing what you say you're going to do. The only way to not drop the ball and to remember what you have to do is to document it, put it somewhere, set reminders for yourself, and follow through with the things you said you would do. Marketing suite of newsletters, postcards, mailers, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Take what's working for somebody else and plug in your data and use it. I've created several smart plans for myself, and they're shareable. So I make everything that I create shareable. And that's, again, the wonderful thing about the Keller Williams culture, is that, people are willing to share what's worked for them. And you can create your own content as well and share it with others. And then one of my favorite features is the referral network. So like I said, I connected with a lot of people at family reunion, but there's only so many conversations in states and counties and towns you can find, right? And so if you have a need for a real estate professional for one of your clients in another state, you can put out a referral broadcast and somebody will be able to help you. Same thing, you can receive them. So it's all kind of on a first come, first serve, whoever responds fastest. But there's so many amazing resources within Command and ways to control your business. And then the next slide talks about the Command app. So this is another really cool feature for your clients. The Command app is your pocket interface to your desktop version of Command. So if you don't have this on your cell phones, you definitely want to make sure that you get it. And the app will remind you of the things that you need to do while storing all of your contacts and allowing you to make notes about your conversations. So I don't know about you guys. Well, if you're not in this place, you will probably be very quickly. I live on the road. My office is my car for the most part, and I'm always going to appointments, and I've got like a million things going on. And so I don't always have my computer in front of me, obviously. So having an app that mimics the computer version of Command is amazing. And in addition, agents have full access to client data, and you can track their contacts and leads in real time. So agents have the ability to text contacts directly through the app if you want to do that. And it just helps keep all of your conversations in one place. So if you haven't done it, if you haven't gone through command training yet, make sure you sign up for that so you're able to use those tools to the best of their ability. Keep going to the next slide. So the app is for consumers and you. This is your consumer facing counterpart to command. So your clients are going to have their own version of what they see when they are when they're home searching and communicating with you. Your contacts are able to search by neighborhood, zip code, school district, landmark, and more. So I try to get my clients to convert to using my app instead of Zillow, Realtor, because inevitably they click the button, right? It says, do you want to see this property? Do you want to schedule a showing? And even if they're fully committed to working with you, there's a good chance that their data is going to go to another agent. And you know, hopefully you don't lose the client, but you never know, right? It all depends on, did you do a good enough job in your buyer consult? Have you educated your client on how to communicate with you? But it's those apps are all very user friendly, and they can lead people to conversations you don't want them to be having. So you can directly communicate with your clients, keep track of showings, and be the first to know when your clients start or stop their search. So for buying, selling, you can actually facilitate the entire transaction through your personally branded app, so they can keep track of the progress of their transaction if you're using command properly. And another feature, so I guess in day 3 of Ignite, they're gonna teach you how to use your app. So that's good. Another feature of KW technology is a partnership with DocuSign to integrate the document management platform in command. And DocuSign is really easy to use. It's the electronic signature program that you can send documents to your clients through, which makes your job very easy. So your market center is going to help you manage all of that and teach you how to use it. Everybody has classes available to them to make sure that you feel comfortable. All right, the next slide. Yeah, so sorry about this. There's not any data on this slide because it said not to alter slides, but and unfortunately everybody's in a different market center. So even if I had something on here, it wouldn't necessarily be relevant to you. But I will say, in your market center meetings, which are held monthly, your leadership should be sharing this data with you, and it's called the lore, the language of real estate. And you'll be able to see what are your month over month and year to date closed units, volume, listings. And this is for your entire market center. So the cool thing is that, remember, even if you don't have your own personal statistics, you can still lean into what is your market center doing? What is the collective group of agents doing? And you can use that data when you're, going on a listing presentation, or you're talking to buyers about, how effective your market center and your colleagues are doing with helping clients. So we've reviewed the value proposition of Keller Williams, and now we want to examine the value of that the market center provides you. So it says on here, where can they get this information when it's updated monthly? Is that either of the moderators, are you able to share that in the group chat of where exactly people go to get the information when it's updated for their market center? If not, we'll make sure we get that to you.
Yeah, if I try to post it, I'll lose the class. So I can do it afterwards and email. It'll get emailed to everybody.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you so much. We don't want to lose the class. Okay, the next slide. Okay, cool. So the market center value, obviously we talked about mission, vision, values, beliefs, perspectives. KW Cares, Red Day, the leadership team. So the OP, operating principle, kind of runs the Market Center. If you haven't met yours yet, you should, you should. I mean, they'll probably be present at Market Center meetings. Maybe they're walking around the offices. Your team leaders and your assistant team leaders, those are the ones who really drive the recruiting part of what we do, meaning they're helping newly licensed agents or referred agents, or agents that they're actively seeking out to come and join Keller Williams. And that's a really important piece, because the stronger we are as an organization in terms of numbers, volume, experience, the more that trickles down to all of you. We want experienced agents, not just from a numbers perspective, but what kind of value they bring in terms of coaching, training, supporting other agents that are newer to the industry. And then your Market Center administrators and technology trainers, those are the people who are helping support the day-to-day, making sure that the offices are running smoothly, that everybody has the resources and the tools that they need, the training that needs to be set up. And the ALC is the Agent Leadership Council. That's a collective group of agents who are typically, they have to be in the top 20% producers in the Market Center. I was on the ALC last year. I chaired the growth committee. And, we put some really cool things in place to help other people in our Market Center grow their downlines. We brought awareness to what is a downline? How do you get profit share? And so the Agent Leadership Council, they're not getting paid to do that. It's really just people that volunteer to help step into maybe fill the gaps or assist in training or be a support to agents. So you'll probably see, usually they have these pictures posted on the walls, so you have an idea of who are the people that are involved in your leadership team and your ALC members. So again, just a reminder that you're not alone, okay? There are so many people who are determined to support you. They're invested in the growth of the Market Center, and they want to be there to answer questions and help in any way that they can. So speaking of profit share, another one of KW's value is profit and growth share. If we want to go to the next slide. So you probably heard about profit share when you joined and you chose a sponsor. So every agent has a sponsor. When you choose that sponsor, you automatically became a part of the profit share system and made your sponsor eligible to share in the Market Center's profit. So what exactly is profit share? It's completely, entirely, wholly, and absolutely passive income. Well, so what is passive income? It's money you receive without doing anything actively to earn it, which is pretty cool. Mailbox money. It's it just shows up, and the only thing that you had to do was to refer somebody to join Keller Williams. Keller Williams designed a system for you to share in the profits of the company like an owner would, without any personal risk or investment capital, which means there's no financial risk, there's no legal risk, there's no down payment, no phone calls. And who benefits? It's you, your family, and your heirs. So you can actually pass the income on to your heirs. The Market Center and the people you influence to join Keller Williams, by helping the Market Center grow and by helping real estate agents benefit from the value KW provides. So the Keller Williams associates and leaderships as a whole also benefits. So there's growth share, which allows you to help grow the company outside of the US and Canada. And that's where I had talked about, if you're traveling and you notice you Google, where's Keller Williams in this country or this area? If it doesn't exist, that's a great opportunity to, find a way to make it happen. Any KW associate can participate in both growth share and profit share. So the way that profit share works is every month that the Market Center is profitable, meaning income coming in from non-capped agents, from sales, minus the expenses of the Market Center, the profit that's left over gets divided out between anybody who had someone in their downline that actively participated to that profit. So if you're in my downline, if I recruited you into Keller Williams, you name me as your sponsor, I connected you with people, you start your career, you're selling houses, and you sold a house in December, and we were profitable as a Market Center in December, then I would benefit by getting a little piece of that profit because I helped contribute to the profit by bringing somebody else in. So there's a whole class on profit share, which I started in our market center. That was one of the initiatives that I started on the ALC, was to have a monthly profit share class to teach people what it is and how to participate in it. And I'm sure your market center probably has something like that similar. If not, you can, I'm sure, see the class on KW Connect. But it's something that you should highly consider. And what I did for myself, I actually last year, the reason I chaired the growth committee is because I already had a goal for 2022 to add 12 people to my downline, 1 a month. And I ended the year with 6. So not to my goal, but 6 more than I probably would have if I did not have a plan in place. And so it is important to understand that. So we're going to go through another set of ahas. We just covered a lot of stuff about the market center and what Keller Williams has to provide as a whole, and then what your market center can provide for you as an individual agent. So does anybody have anything that they want to share as an aha or a takeaway? Any questions anybody has before we move on? I have to call on people again. Let's see. Oh, Jacob. All right. Share with us. What's your aha or takeaway?
So mine's pretty simple. Essentially what I got from it is just like money's everywhere.
Yes, it is. That is very true. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. That's one thing when I forget which one of you had said, limiting belief is like, I can't do it all, or, I know if I put effort into it, it'll be successful. There's so much opportunity. I think the important thing is to focus on which kind of opportunities do you want to take advantage of, and then creating plans around them. Time blocking or smart plans, or just, what is the way I'm going to achieve this goal? And I'm sure your team leads and your productivity coaches can help you get there if you have one. Anybody else have an aha? Picking a random one. All right, here we go. We're going to go with Glenn. Would you like to share an aha or a takeaway?
An aha of Keller Williams for me. I'm actually coming from Century 21. So I spent 6 months there kind of learning and understanding kind of Century 21's platform, and was pretty frustrated. And I really, as an aha, kind of like how the command center and how the kind of, I'm transferring. Just on Friday, I did this. So it's just basically, I saw this in one of the communications. I signed up today. This is great information. I was kind of able to preview it before. And I really am feeling good about this move. I feel like it's a lot easier for me to actually get up and running here and be productive and kind of drive my business according to the values, which are pretty much aligned with my other businesses. So I'm pretty excited to be here.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I want to note too that all of the Ignite teachers and coaches were volunteers. It's my first time teaching Ignite, and I'm more of an in-person person. Like I'm staring at a screen of the PowerPoint presentation, and like I don't really see anybody, which is interesting for me because our job is talking to people face to face. So it's a little bit weird. So like I'm not a trained trainer. However, I am very passionate about providing support to people, and I constantly raise my hand to help wherever I can, because I think that that's really important. And I really believe in the power of Keller Williams and the training and support that they provide. So I'm glad that you're having a good experience so far, and you're going to learn from some amazing people over the next couple sessions. So I'm just noticing the time too, and I want to be mindful of that. It said 3 hours, but on my calendar, it looks like it only goes to 11:30. Steve, do we know, does it go till 12? Is it only 11:30?
That's kind of your decision.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I want to get through this. So, so I'm just going to try to get through the rest of this stuff the best I can. And if you guys thought it was ending at 11:30 and you need to get off, totally understand that. If you can hang on till the end, that would be great too. So the next slide talks about the different companies that we have at Keller Williams and the different like sections, basically. So Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered. The goal of Keller Williams is to keep you, the agent, at the center of the home buying and owning experience. So Keller Williams has been joined by KW Worldwide, Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, Keller Offers, just to make sure that you are in the middle and your clients feel like you have all the bases covered if possible. And so it's important that we follow RESPA, the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. So pursuant to RESPA, Keller Williams agents and associates must provide an ABA disclosure to the consumer at or before any referrals made to Keller Williams Mortgage or Keller Mortgage. So, and you're going to hear that a lot, right? Which means that we can't steer people and force people to use certain, certain lenders, certain attorneys, home inspectors, anything, but we can strongly suggest and make recommendations, which I think is important. And the more you get to develop relationships with the people that you work closely with throughout the transaction process, the better experience it'll be for your clients. And so your clients come to you with a high level of, you earn their trust, but by the time you're going under contract and guiding them through the sales process, they have a high level of trust with you. So just make sure that you're providing quality referrals and resources. The next slide. Keller Williams strives to meet the needs of all associates, including those who solely specialize in a niche of real estate. These are agents there are agents that choose to only help clients with commercial needs, such as office buildings, retail space, multi-unit apartments, hotels, etc. Other agents are finding great success in catering to clients in sports or entertainment fields. So KW provides communities for these specialties along with targeted services and marketing. Agents who become members of one or more of these communities may be offered additional resources, such as marketing materials designed specifically for them. So if any of these sound interesting to you, or they're an area that you would love to build your career out into, there are tons of resources available to you as well. I know agents who do a lot of work with military. I know agents who only want to work in the luxury market, some that specialize in land, commercial. So I'm not that, I kind of like work with anybody. Most of my business is heavily referral based and past client referral based. So I get to experience a little bit of everything. But if you're somebody that wants to just focus on one area, I think it's good to know that there are resources available to you. And there's scripts, there's targeted marketing materials. It's like a network that you can belong to really enhance your career in that category. All right, so we can skip the next aha slide, and we're going to go to the slide after that. Cool. So this is the fun part. So you've been introduced to all that Keller Williams has to offer, and now it's time to focus on you, your goals, your dreams, your vision. So what drew you to this career? Can I get one person to share with me what drew you to this career? Amanda.
For me, it was the flexibility and also the potential, because a lot of the other careers I was looking into as a career change didn't have both of those things. Right? It
Nice.
either had flexibility or it had, you work 80 hours a day, not a day, but you know what I'm saying, like exaggerating. And the potential was still the same.
Awesome. All right, next question is, what excites you about this career? Who wants to tell me what excites you about this career? Don't all jump up at once. It's only day one. Come on. All right, Kaylee, what excites you about this career?
Every time I get to like work with like a first time buyer and they like give them the keys to their house after closing. I remember my first closing was with first time home buyers, and just that look of excitement on their face. Like that's what I'm always working to do. It's just that, oh my God moment.
That's a great place to come from in this industry, is helping people achieve their goals. And first time home buyers are awesome because they're usually the most like excited and appreciative. All right. And then the last question is, what do you intend to achieve for yourself and your family? Who is very clear on their 2023 goals that they want to share? Like what's your goal? What's your vision for this upcoming year? Who's got a goal? All right. Oh,
Aaron.
Judy, thank you. You just saved everyone. What's your goal, Judy? You're on mute if you're talking.
I didn't raise my hand, but that's okay. My goal is, so I came from Redfin, and their business model, I don't know if you know about Redfin, it's totally different. But my goal is to achieve making more money than I did last year at Redfin.
Amazing. All right. So there is, in your participant guide, there's this letter, your vision, your future. And let's imagine that it's 1 year from today. I'm actually going to ask that you, what time is it?
It's 11:30.
All right. I think this is an important thing to do. So let's imagine it's 1 year from today. Write the date in your participant guide. This is what has happened over the last 12 months as you look back and reflect. So you're going to write, you're going to say your business is thriving and your life is everything you've dreamed of. Your customers rave about the experience and value you provide and think of you when they have a real estate need. Your family and friends are so proud of your success and are consistently referring business your way. You are helping others live the dream of owning a home because you're focused on helping them get what they desire. You're building the foundation and momentum for your entire career, gaining relationships and experiences and the income you desire. You are the top agent in your market center or rookie of the year if you're new. You're poised to hire a part-time assistant to handle your 80% while you take care of your 20%. You're on the path to whatever it is that you have designed for yourself. And I'd like you to envision your ideal future, writing down all the great things that have happened to you in the last 12 months. So take a couple minutes and write down some things that have happened, pretending this is the end of 2023. What are some things that you've accomplished in the last year? Sorry. All right, so I want to see a raise of hands and tell me who intends to achieve the future that they've envisioned. Who wants to be sitting here December of 2023 raising their hand saying, I completed the things that I wrote down that I envisioned doing this year? I better see 56, just saying. All right, cool. The numbers just keep going up and up. I love this. All of these things are 100% achievable. And the most important way to get them done is to put focus and energy and effort onto them and have them written down. Like writing down your goals is the most important thing you can do. And you should constantly be revisiting that. And as you do things, check them off your list, revise your list, add to your list, but visit it often. So let's expand our thinking beyond just 1 year. For example, what are you doing for the people that you care about? What charities would you support? How would you make the lives of yourself and everyone around you better? For the next activity, we're going to take a few minutes to complete the chart. In the boxes around the middle, fill in the people and projects that you care about most. Add more boxes if needed. Then I want you to add an amount that you would like to spend on each. For example, if you want to pay for both your children's college tuition or pay off your home or your car or donate money to a local soccer field. Finally, add up all of the numbers along with what you need for your own lifestyle, debt, and investments, and write this amount in the middle. Don't limit yourself. Avoid thinking I'll never be able to afford $120,000 in tuition. Just put in what you desire to spend. Ignite is about working on the skills and habits that will get you what you want. And I can tell you from personal experience, when I did this as a new agent, I was like, this is ridiculous, but whatever, I'll write it down. And I never in a million years thought that I would accomplish the goals that I accomplished in my first year. I was like, I remember calling my mentor 8 months into my first year of selling real estate saying, like, why did I not do this 10 years ago? Like, I never thought that this is possible. And I would listen to these stories about people, making money and selling homes and 100 units and this and that. And I was rookie of the year, my first year in real estate. And I kind of like thought it could be possible. But the only reason I got there was because I had goals written down in front of my face. I had a vision board. I did exercises like this to help me get a lot of clarity around what I wanted to do with my money when I got it. And so this is super powerful. So it is important to establish a mindset of caring and gratitude along with your goals at the beginning of the journey into your future. Even jobs you love have moments where you're going to struggle to find motivation. During Ignite, you'll learn a lot about the ins and outs of how to find and keep business. You'll learn everything you need to do to get a deal to the closing table. And the more connected that you are with what you want to do with your success, the more you'll find success. And like I just said, that is like, there is no truer statement, right? You have to have a plan and a purpose in order for you to find the motivation to get up and do the job every day. For me this year, it's having a week-long vacation per quarter with my family because like I am a workaholic, mostly because I love what I do, but it forces me to take the time away, put it on the calendar, plan it, and then I have to fund that vacation through my job. So it actually creates purpose, not just get up and work, get up and sell houses. Like, it's never going to be enough if you don't have a goal with your money, if you don't know what you're doing with it once you get it. So as you guys go through Ignite, if we want to move on to the next slide, and you want to look for ways that you're limiting your own success and removing the barriers you're putting in the way. Be especially aware of those limiting beliefs that can creep in if you're not careful. Connect to your goals and push through and achieve your goals. At Keller Williams, we believe in thinking big, really big. We never limit ourselves by thinking average or anything less than big. Everyone has a big why. A big why is what you're most passionate about. And along with your mindset and attitude, it's what drives you. What stirs your soul? think beyond the business. What really drives you? Is it money, freedom? Is it providing for your family, college tuition for your kids, building a legacy for the future, supporting a charity? What is it? Take a moment and write this down in your participation guide. And it's okay to not, it took me like 3 years to really figure out my, my big why. And it only came through experiences and growth, learning. But, you might have just like a basic level big why. And I would encourage you to dig deeper, ask yourself a few questions. If you say, to support my family. Well, what does it mean to you to support your family? Why is that important? And is it financial? Is it time? Siri's trying to tell me what my big why is. Does anybody want to share? I know we got a lot of hands up, I think, from the last question I asked, but does anybody want to share what their big why is? Judy, did you raise?
Talk now? I did. I was working on patience with my earbud in for the last 2.5 hours. I'm a dental hygienist, and I'm just dying to get out of the op. I'm just 36 years is enough, but I still need to work. I still need to make money. So I thought real estate would be a great thing. So over COVID, I did the classes and everything. So that's how I started. I've been in it for a year. I haven't had much success at all. I changed brokerages over to Keller Williams a couple months ago, and my head is swimming with all the classes and the knowledge and just a lot. It's good because I'm going back to the basics. But my why is my son is 29, he has Down syndrome, and I'm sole provider for him. And I want to be able to take care of him the way he's, accustomed. I want to leave enough money for my kids to be able to take care of him. That's my why.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And my other kids too.
Yeah,
And my
thank
other
you so
kids
much.
too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. One more big why. Amanda, did you raise your hand for that? No. Did you raise your hand for the big why? No.
I didn't. I don't know. My hand just keeps raising, but I don't know why, but so I have a partial big why. I'm not really exactly sure what my full big why is yet. But part of it is about personal success, in that I've always kind of limited myself. So part of my big why is to be able to succeed without limitations. And that connects to me wanting to provide a business or opportunities for my family in the future. But I haven't fine-tuned it yet. Sorry.
No, that's fine. And like I said, mine was like 3 years in the making, and it's still not, like some people seem to be very clear. They get up and they say like, this is my big why, this is what I'm doing, this is what I do and why I do it. And like, that's my end goal. And what I realized over time for myself is that very similar to some things that you just said, it's to always grow and learn. Like my husband one day was like, is it ever going to be enough? Are you ever just going to stop and be like, all right, I've learned enough, I've done enough, and I'm going to like retire now or whatever is next? And I said, no, because my big why is that I want to see what I'm capable of. How much can I achieve in my lifetime? And that's the example that I want to set for my kids. So it can be a work in progress, but I think the most important thing is, to start identifying why you get up and do what you do every day. So anyone can achieve the goals set in this course, but not everyone will. Remember the first quote from the beginning of the day. The journey requires discipline and a commitment to follow models, systems, and a schedule every day. It requires passion towards something bigger than the task at hand, which is your big why. First, have a big why built around your passion, then follow the models you'll learn in this course, keep it going, and you'll achieve great success. Once you have a strong enough big why, the how doesn't really matter. To achieve success, you need motivation and inspiration for doing it, and your big why will fuel, your big why. And to fuel that big why will take money, which is your income goal. So in the last activity, we estimated how much you'd like to earn to pay for the things that are most important to you. So let's get real about how commissions work. Many new agents get the check for their first closing, pocket it all, which is it's exciting, right? It's usually a couple grand, and then they get into trouble down the line. So we're going to talk about where does the money go and how much will actually be going towards your goal. These numbers are very general and meant only as an example. Actual amounts will vary, especially if you're on a team, you may have splits, but let's just say it's 50-50 between the buyer's agent and the listing agent. There's an animation on this, Steve. It says click to animate and explain the total. Okay, good, cool. So your money's going to be split 50-50 between the buyer's agent and the listing agent. So if it was a $10,000 commission total that the listing agent sets aside, that's $5,000 to the buyer's agent, $5,000 to the listing agent. And then we're going to click again to animate. About a third goes to the market center to cover company dollar. That's your cap. And then we're going to click again. That after you pay the market center, another third goes back into your business to cover marketing and operating expenses, signs, your car, your phone, anything else you need to conduct and grow your business. And then you have to pay and save, you have to pay taxes. So you got to set some money aside for that. If you want to click again. Yep. And then finally you get your share. So it's a lot different than thinking you're getting a full 3% or 2.5%, whatever you calculate out in the beginning of the transaction. So it's important. It's really an important habit to start now. You need to make sure you're putting away for taxes. And the first year, I will admit, I was very bad at that. And then I was like, oh, I got to pay all this money at the end of the year. But the second year I got really smart about my money and I opened up a separate account. I did all the things they tell you to do. So it was easy to pay my quarterly tax payments. It was like, okay, I pretended like that wasn't mine. I put it in a separate account and then I only dealt with what I had left over. So it's really smart to be aware of what your money actually looks like. Does anybody have questions around this slide? Were you aware of this? Did were you thinking about taxes, starting pay versus take home pay? It's also a really good, incentive to cap. So I've capped all 3 years. I've been in real estate now, and it's awesome for those. And the more your business grows, the faster and quicker and easier it is to get there. So year 1 was 8 months. Year 2 was 6 months, and this past year I did it in 4 months. So, all of that time outside of once you've capped that's 100%. So you get more of that dollar back right there, which is cool. All right, so the next slide, it talks kind of about how many houses must you help buy or sell in the next 12 months to reach your net income goal. So, using that example. No, that's okay. Thanks. So using that example, having a net income goal of $100,000, knowing that your company dollar and royalty cap is $30,000, you've got $50,000 in business expenses, and your average commission is $9,000. So, your total, so you've got your net income goal. You also have to factor in those 2 expenses, which means you need your total GCI to be $180,000. I don't know why I'm actually pointing to my computer. You guys can't do that. Your average commission in your town, you kind of have to know that, right? So my average sale price for myself, because I know my numbers right now, is about 300,000. And so average commission is 7,500. So I actually need to sell more homes than somebody who has an average sale price or average commission of $9,000. But that will give you your annual transaction goal. So when you're thinking about your goals for 2023, you have your net, you should be thinking about your net income goal. How much do I want to take home at the end of the year? What is my take? And then you're going to have to add in those other expenses. You know, and versus starting at your goal and then taking out your expenses. And if you don't have a way to track all of that for yourself, I highly recommend that you get something like QuickBooks to help you get a handle on your business expenses. Makes it super easy. Make sure that you talk to a tax professional about what you can and can't write off. So I would highly recommend that you take some time to do this exercise to figure out your goals. And I mean, we don't need to do it right now because we're running out of time. But has anybody done this, or did you just do quick math while we were sitting here? And can you share your unit goal for transactions for 2023? No? Anybody have a goal? Okay. Aristophanes, you have your hand up. Did you mean to have it up? Because I know it was up from before.
No, sorry, I had it before in previous question, but that's fine.
Okay, do you have a goal? Do you want to share your goal for 2023 since you're talking?
Well, now that I'm at this spot, sure. Basically, my goal is to be exposed to 99 people once a month. So I can, basically, I'm a dance instructor. I've been teaching for a while, and I'm involved in all the dancing events in Boston, which is bachata, sensual bachata, and salsa. So my goal is like 2023 to put all that skill and knowledge and move that and connect it to the real estate. So I'm working in place with the events coordinator, so I can teach once a month in the big events, so I can expose to the people and gather a following of 99 people, because at the end, real estate is just lead. So I'm trying to leverage my talent in whatever can give me the lead the best, because I don't like calling. So I like directly in customer service and getting leads in coffee places and what I'm teaching. So my goal is to achieve 99 students every month, once a month at least, in each event. So that's my goal.
Awesome. I'm so glad you brought that up, because honestly, everybody has a different sphere, right? And I tell people getting into real estate, it's like hairdressers can all be successful because you can only handle so many clients, and it's all probably people that you can generate clients for. I mean, there are so many other successful business owners out there and types of business. Real estate is no different. And if we were to look at, I've got 727 people in my database that I'm personally connected to. You and I probably don't have anybody in common. And so like tap into your database, tap into the people that you know, and listen to more stories like that. That's so great. Thank you for sharing. I'm just trying to pick out I want to make sure I don't miss anything super important. So for every day on Ignite after this one, remember you guys are going to have to do some work, 2 hours towards the activities in your participant guide. The goal of Ignite is to equip you with the mindset, the skills, and tools that you need to secure your first appointment and reach a successful close and the buying or selling of a house. Your daily success trackers system tracker includes the essential daily lead generation activities to get there. And the daily goal for your Ignite experience is 10 conversations, 10 contacts added to your database, 10 handwritten note cards, utilize the 10-5-1 model for social media engagement, which you're going to go through, and other enrichment offered at the end of each lesson, with which you'll learn more about as we move through Ignite. After all, the first job of a real estate agent is lead generation. So the activity of generating leads is the foundation of your business. It's your 20%. In addition, practicing conversations and dialogues will prepare you for success. And success is measured in appointments, signed agreements, signed contracts, and sales closed. Of course, before we get involved in conversations with contacts and lead generation, we must remember to comply with the TCPA and do not call regulations. And those are in your manuals as well, if you want to read through all of the rules surrounding that. And you're going to get notified of those regulations all the time. Every day in class, we will make calls to people who we know and are connected to. Before you make any calls or texts, please remember to honor the TCPA and do not call lists, including those of your market center and state. If you have any questions or concerns about this, please consult your market center or attorney to ensure compliance. Also check any market center and state do not call lists. Refer to the guidelines in your participant guide for more details. These guidelines are for your protection as well as for the protection of your clients. Read the entire page. Sorry, can you go to the next screen with the do not call list warning on there? Previous, I think we're back. It says there's like a cell phone with a, there you go.
Here it is.
Okay, yeah, so you guys should also have that. I'm sure you also learned about it in real estate school, but we just have to make sure that we're honoring the do not call list. Our success system requires that we talk to people every day. It's important to know what to say, and we will help you throughout the Ignite series. You'll have conversations of care and gratitude. You will check in with people. You will offer value and assistance. Notice I didn't say you're calling to ask if they need to buy or sell, right? No, because there's a better way to gain confidence and to stay in touch with people. So when they think of real estate, they think of you. That's like the ultimate goal. That's your only job. So if you're thinking lead generation is like, hi, grandma, do you need to buy or sell a house? No, it's like, hey, grandma, how are you? It's the Ford model. It's practicing conversations with, which we're going to go over the Ford model real quick. And that's the last thing I'm going to leave you with before we go. But it's asking about them and their life and how they're doing. And oh, by the way, people are naturally going to, when you ask enough questions of them, they're going to ask you how you're doing in your life. And you can talk about the fact that you're a real estate agent and you got licensed and you're really excited to get going, or you tell them a story. Or what I do is I'll reach out to people and say, hey, I was just showing homes in your area to one of my clients and it made me think of you. How are you? Right? So I'm saying I'm a real estate agent without saying I'm a real estate agent. And there's a lot of creative ways for you to stay in touch with people and have conversations that are real estate related without forcing it down their throats. So if you want to go over to the screen with the Ford model, the family, occupation, recreation, dreams, this is the conversation that I use daily with my leads. So this is the conversation tool. It's called the Ford method, if you haven't heard of it before. And they're going to use it, you're going to use it throughout Ignite and really throughout your career. It's the easiest way to engage with people. And basically, you're asking, when you engage with a conversation with somebody, you're first asking them about family. You're asking them about their occupation, recreation, and dreams, right? And so sometimes I gather that information from social media before I reach out. Like, hey, I saw the picture of your kids at Christmas. They look so cute. How old is your youngest now? I can't even, like, whatever, just talk to them about their family. And then, if you know where they're working, are you still working at that doctor's office? Or, like, ask them about their job, ask them what they're doing for fun. And you're going to find your own comfortable way to get this conversation across. But for me, usually by the time I get to recreation, they're like, oh my God, people don't like talking about themselves usually. It's my experience. And then they're like, how are you doing? How's your family? How's your job going? And sometimes I don't always make it to D, but by the end of the conversation, if something has come up, then I go back to like, how can I help you achieve your goals? If you know small business owners, reaching out and asking them about, what are their dreams? What are their goals for the year? And how can you help them achieve their goals? And so people will want to do, to do the same with you. So in your participant guide is, this forward model of conversation, and it is the easiest thing for you to do as you're engaging your database. So we are at the end of our time. I wanted to just take a moment and see if anybody has any last minute ahas or takeaways that they want to share. Anybody have anything? Was this a helpful way for you to, I feel bad because we like went over, so sorry. But hopefully it gave you guys some good insight into what Keller Williams is all about, and sets the foundation for being in a learning-based mindset, for understanding that there's so much help and support here for you. And I will put my contact information into the chat, and please feel free to save it. If you ever have questions, I love answering them. Hold on, where to go? I appreciate all of you for hanging around and giving me the opportunity to work with you today. Here we go. Oh wait, I think I just direct messaged someone. I don't know how to put it all. Oh, hold on.
Where it says to, make sure that says everyone.
Oh, I don't.
Were you trying to put something in the chat?
Yeah, but it says, oh, everyone in the meeting here. It wasn't enough. Okay. Yeah, save me in your phone. If you ever have a client that needs help in Connecticut, feel free to send them my way. I would love to support them. Send me your contact information with the state and the area that you work in, because I may have people that I need to send referrals to. So when I save agents in my phone, just as a heads up, I do first name, last name, KW, the state abbreviation. And then that way, when I have a client that says, hey, Erin, do you know any agents in, Texas? Because I'm moving out that way. I'll personally reach out to those agents and ask them if they can take on a new client, and kind of like whoever gets back to me and I have a conversation with them, then I'll send them the referral. And then I let my client pick who they want to work with. But it's a really good habit to get into, to start categorizing people in your phone, because, as your database grows, you're going to need that.
I also put my contact info in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and Erin is not available to answer them.
We're all here to help. All right, guys, well, have a great day. Good luck with the rest of your classes, and I'll see you for the next session that I teach, that gets into a lot more details of like how I actually do my job, and how you can grow your database. Good luck.
So much. Bye-bye.
Have a good time. Bye.
Thank you.